Αγαπητοί τηλεθεατές του Hellenic TV, καλησπέρα σας. Απόψε έχουμε μαζί μας την Lesley Johnson που θα μιλήσουμε γύρω από ένα σεμινάριο που οργανώνει ο Σύνδεσμος Λευκαριτών από το Drugs and Alcohol Awareness Seminar. Όσοι γνωρίζετε τη δουλειά που διεξάγει, τον αγώνα που διεξάγει ο Σύνδεσμος Λευκαριτών Μεγάλης Βρετανίας, θα γνωρίζετε ότι είχαμε καλύψει μια σειρά σεμιναρίων που σκοπός μας είναι να εκπαιδεύσουμε την παροικία γύρω από θέματα υγείας και όχι μόνο. Απόψε έχουμε μαζί μας, όπως είπα, την Lesley Johnson και θα την καλέσουμε να μας πει γύρω από τη δουλειά που κάνει γύρω από το ναρκωτικά, τη μάστιγα των ναρκωτικών που μαστιγώνει δυστυχώς την παροικία μας γενικότερα και τη δουλειά που κάνει στα σχολεία. Έτσι, χωρίς καθυστέρηση, να σας συστήσω την Lesley Johnson που εργάζεται για το Δημαρχείο, στο Δημαρχείο του Enfield. Good evening, Lesley.
Good evening, George.
I just gave a short introduction, but I haven't mentioned the work you do.
Right,
so,
okay, thank you.
The stage is yours to explain to us, to the viewers, of the work you do at Enfield, of which I believe you have done for the last 16 years.
16 years, yes. I'm what they call the Tier 2 drugs worker, and now it's including vulnerable young people's remit. Tier 1 workers is the work that's done in schools, the general education that they get in the national curriculum. Tier 2 is more targeted, more specific. So if the teachers have got concerns about a young person, the school will call me, or the parent will ask that their young person see somebody, and I will go and do an assessment with that young person to see what level of intervention they need. Is it just advice? Is it some guidance? Or is there a serious problem? Tier 3 would be into treatment, and Tier 4 is total detox. So I come at Tier 2. So early targeted intervention is what I tend to work with, and I support any young person within education, schools, colleges. I work with the parents, the teachers, train other professionals, but mostly I like to work with the young people. Okay. So that's what I do.
At a young age, prevention is better than cure?
Absolutely, yes, get in early. There is drugs education that's done at primary level, but it's part of the national curriculum, smoking, harmful stuff like that, making smart choices. But mostly my work is with secondary schools, usually year 9 upwards.
Lesley, you have done a lot of work. You are a hard worker. You have, to a certain extent, support. I'm not going to say full support, but you have support. Are we beginning to see some kind of improvement in this area? Are you happy with the work? Are you happy with the work you're doing as far as seeing results?
Yes, nationally and locally, drug use is falling.
We haven't seen the figures, Lesley, have
we? We have, yes. The last lot of figures that we saw was a survey that's done every 3 years, and Enfield very much fit in with the national picture. And nationally, the British Crime Survey and statistics show that drug use is falling, tobacco use is falling, and general alcohol use is falling. There are some blips. We do have binge drinking among some young people, but generally, and Enfield very much reflect that national picture, Lesley, that drug use is down.
It's good, and I'm glad to hear that at least we are.
Yeah, I mean, it's not, we're not totally drug-free, and I don't think it ever will be. But it's
like everything else, isn't
it? Yes.
Lesley, as in all other cases and all other departments, everything leads down to money.
Yes.
And it's not only how much we get, it's how we use it. Do you think we get enough from local authorities or the government? And do we use it wisely?
Generally speaking, it's tricky because it's a very, very small amount of money.
I'm sorry, Lesley, it's a tricky question.
It is a tricky question. I did make notes. I did make notes. If you want to look at our local authority, there is limited funds that the government will give us. Or a lot of money that came into local authorities is now devolved entirely to schools. I talk about my particular department. So if you look at the local authority, they're responsible for the commissioning and treatment for young people. And they're...
Do you think, Lesley, I know you touched a bit earlier on, but do you have to say anything else, or shall I I interrupted you, didn't I?
That's okay, but I was going to say that actually, as a local authority, we do a lot of commissioning, and we have, which a lot of other local authorities don't have, and that's a young people's drug service, and also a combined adult drug and treatment service. A lot of partnership working. We work a lot closely with public health, the police. GPs are on board in terms of seeing people and diagnosing maybe alcohol stuff. We now have what they call a hidden harm worker, which is somebody who will actually work with the whole family. So which is supporting. And also, I am probably only one of maybe 5 local authorities where there is still employed a drugs advisor. And fair play to Enfield, they thought that was important, so they continue to pay the salary, which is I think, you know, cheers to Enfield. Yes.
Since you mentioned Enfield, Lesley, this seminar would have been possible without the help from Enfield Council.
Absolutely.
As indeed the priority ward funding, of which I would like to thank the 3 ward councillors for Edmonton Green, who have made this possible. When I have asked for some funding just to cover the fees for the hiring of the hall, the technicians and everything, they did not say no. And the priority ward funding is an initiative was taken a year ago to offer people in the community what they want to have, what they want to learn about. And this was an item, if you remember, Lesley, the last time you gave a talk in 2009, the form that some people filled up, they thought it was too short. Or they enjoyed so much your presentation and your interaction with the audience was so well done that it was an hour and a half, I believe, and they said it was too short. So I can assure you, Lesley, this time I will allow you, as long as you like,
thank you,
to interact with the audience, to offer advice. And I take it during the seminars, we might have a one-to-one session private if they ask.
Yes, yes.
Okay, and this I will invite the listeners, the audience of Hellenic TV viewers. If they have anything to discuss in private, Lesley would be more than happy to discuss any issues in a private one-to-one, in private and confidential manner. The other one I was coming to, the other issue I was coming to, Lesley, we touched it earlier on, and you said to me that we will never get rid of the problem. But some people say, are we fighting? We are fighting a losing battle. What do you have to say to that kind of comments when you hear them on a daily basis almost?
Yes, I don't think we are fighting a losing battle. I think that it's very, very complex.
If we save one life is saved.
Absolutely, and it's one family that doesn't have the horrendous misery that kind of drug addiction will bring. But if you think about drug use generally, everybody gets focused really on crack cocaine and crystal meth and heroin.
I don't want you to say too
all
much
of that.
Tonight. We have to encourage the US to come.
I know, but actually, you have to
okay.
focus on actually our legal drugs, tobacco and alcohol, in terms of the misery, the unhappiness, the poverty.
Tonight we're covering the person that's going to show, that's going to present it to us, and we get to know the
I won't
Lesley,
nag, I promise.
There will be a lot more information on the evening.
And lots more contacts.
I would like to urge you to come and ask your neighbors and friends to come to this worthwhile seminar.
And bring your young people.
Absolutely.
Yes.
The earlier that the people are educated, the better.
Yes.
And this is prevention is 1,000 times better than cure.
Yes.
And it's not only about the person taking a drug.
It affects the whole family. And community,
There you are. So we would like to encourage people, and this time, Lesley, we didn't ask people to come to Enfield. We went into the community, and we have in the center of the community, in a school, in fact, which is next to the hall, the church hall at St. Dimitrios Church Hall, on the 19th of June. This event will take place. We've done it into 2 sessions. In case people come late, they might want to ask Lesley a couple of questions that they always wanted to ask. Lesley will be available from 6:30 until 9.
That's right.
I don't want you to get too tired. You will be on your own, but
that's okay. I work in schools quite a lot, so yeah, yes, yeah.
What else can we do as TV, as radio, as newspapers to promote this awareness?
Yes, I think you have a newspaper. Do you have a newspaper?
We have 3 local papers.
Yes, they could go in there. And you have Saturday schools, do you have? Where some
evenings, Saturday morning and afternoon. In fact, so this one, most of you mentioned school, this is designed for the family and school children as well. And instead of having a lesson on Tuesday evening, on the 19th, they will come to see you, Lesley.
It's a good way of getting sometimes sensitive topics opened up in a safe and friendly way, so people can ask questions and not be embarrassed. We can talk about everything and their lack of information or too much information, depending what they have. They won't be embarrassed by that, so it's quite safe. And then an opportunity for the parents to go home and say to their young people, well, I didn't know that. What do you think of that? I was given this to look at. I think you should read that. So everyone gets their information and views exchanged without any conflict, hopefully. So that's the kind of thinking behind the seminars.
Lefkara Association will continue to work on those subjects, on issues around health, and we will see in another interview later on of other issues that we will be covering around health. I would like to remind all the viewers of the address of the hall. Many people will know St. Dimitrios Church in Town Road, Logan Road. It's behind Edmonton Green Shopping.
Okay.
It's Town Road, Logan Road, in the church hall. And again, I must thank the 3 ward councillors, Councillor Andrew Stafford. He's a cabinet member of finance in Enfield.
Okay.
Chris Murphy, Councillor Chris Murphy, and Jane Buckland, for their generosity in providing some Enfield Priority Ward funding money for the community. And I hope to see as many of you as possible on there. Come and give Lesley a hard time, ask her hard questions.
Happy to help.
And we will be providing refreshments, free sandwiches, refreshments, free entrance. I'm sorry I cannot sing, neither can Lesley, but
you've not heard me.
Well, maybe you can.
No, trust me, I can't.
Anything else, Lesley? Any other messages you would like to
I think I'd like to
viewers' attention?
Well, you thank the councillors, but Enfield are very committed to supporting their community.
But this is what the committee wanted,
yes.
Lesley.
Yes.
When we asked people whether they wanted next time, they said, yes, we want it. We want
more
you to go down
information.
to Enfield College, for example, or Southgate College to have this. They wanted to come for us to go to them. And they were very impressed by your presentation, that they wanted more time, and that was my mistake of me asking you to.
Well, you never know if it's the first time. You don't know how it's going to be.
The previous seminar took about 3 hours and they thought it was too long. But you made it so interesting that people wanted to hear more. And sometimes it's good to let people leave wanting more.
Okay,
and I will not make the same mistake I've done the last time.
Okay.
Lesley, Lefkara Association will continue in cooperation with London Borough of Enfield and other bodies to promote health awareness. And I would like to thank you and your department for your support.
You're very welcome.
And thank you for spending time tonight when in fact many people will be watching television, or football rather, European football. But I think this is worth coming to. Football we can watch every evening, almost every day of the week. These seminars are hard to come by. And don't miss opportunity. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. I look forward to seeing you all at the seminar.
Good night.